Hi, Malek here from Malek Law Firm. I'm going to post today discussing um, whether or not you can claim a workers' comp injury if you get coronavirus. Right now, many folks are either working from home or have unfortunately been laid off due to the coronavirus. Hopefully, you folks who have been laid off have been able to file for unemployment, and hopefully that's starting. Um, if you're not either laid off, working from home, but still working at your job location, um, I'm assuming you're kind of freaked out because if you get this coronavirus, it's kind of scary. It seems pretty serious. So the question is, if you get coronavirus and and it's serious enough to cause you to go to ER and be put on a ventilator, presumably at this point in time, the United States is not going to be funding that treatment. So either your personal insurance, if you have it, or Medicaid, if you're on Medicaid, or you'll be sent a bill if you don't have insurance. But the question is, if you're, say, an Amazon worker, or say working at a Kroger's or a Myers, or a Walmart or a Costco, or if you're a bus driver for Coda, for instance, if you get coronavirus, are you going to be able to file a workers' comp claim for that exposure to the coronavirus, which you may have been exposed to at work? So that's what I'll be talking about in this video pretty quickly. In short, so the How BWC, I don't know if you've ever been to this website. If you have not, you should go there if you have a workers' comp claim. If you don't, probably not a good reason to go there. But if otherwise, on that website, they have a FAQ, frequently asked question about COVID-19. And in that COVID-19, they have specifically, if I contract COVID-19, is it a compensable workers' comp claim? And they go on to explain it depends on how you contract it and the nature of your occupation. Generally, communicable diseases like COVID-19 are not workers' compensation claims because people are exposed in a variety of ways, and few jobs have a hazard of risk of getting the diseases in a greater degree or a different manner than the general public. However, if you work in a job that poses a special hazard or risk and contract COVID-19 from the work exposure, BWC could allow your claim. In general, if this was a year ago, or even in October or November, and you had contracted a cold that went on to become bad bronchitis, or a flu, which you ended up developing pneumonia in that situation, in general, I would say you're going to have a very difficult time getting that claim allowed from that flu exposure or cold exposure. Because of the nature of this COVID-19 and the coronavirus, the manner in which it is passed along, it seems like it's pretty easy to catch it. The rules may be changed, but in general, so there's two parts to this. If you look at their thing, and I'm going to break that out, basically they cabinet, and it depends on how you contract it and the nature of your occupation. So the nature of occupation, that goes to, does your job entail a hazard or risk of getting the disease in a greater degree or different manner than the general public? I think at this point in time, since non-essential businesses are closed, and that's many employers, unfortunately, hairdressers, restaurants, various stores. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I was thinking about this and what's been closed and what's not. But if you're one of those folks who have unfortunately been laid off, again, that sucks. File for unemployment. Hopefully, we hit the ground running. But if you're an essential worker, you're a medical provider, you're work in a grocery store, you work for Coda, you work at an Amazon warehouse, or you work at any number of other logistics warehouses that are still in operation. Work at a Meijer, Costco, etc. You're a police officer. Those are all essential jobs, and they've denoted non-essential and essential. Essential means you can stay open, but it also entails, since a bunch of other folks aren't working and you are working, I think you could make a strong argument that you have you face a hazard or risk of getting a disease in a greater degree or a different manner than the general public by the very nature that you're not either working from home or laid off. You're forced to go to a location. For instance, if you're in a grocery store, you have to deal with different vectors of the virus every day, and however many people go through these grocery stores, it's the potential to get the coronavirus is substantially increased over, say me, an attorney sitting in my office with my door closed. Okay. Likewise, if you're a COTA bus driver, you have people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. The risk is monumental. And if you're a medical provider, well, especially if you're working in one of these hospitals or urgent cares, when you're dealing with people with respiratory illness, which is likely the coronavirus, obviously you are the front line of this battle. So particularly with the issues with the personal protective equipment being in short supply, and issues with the folks getting those things, I would say that definitely medical providers face a special hazard or risk of getting disease that is in a greater degree or a different manner than the general public. So I think that element is there. Now it's the nature of your occupation. I think this is where things can get kind of dicey. So for instance, and I made a post about this in my own FAQ on our website, but I'll just discuss it here. Traditionally, and this is where it would be very, very difficult to prove out a flu or cold situation, because even, let's say the coronavirus didn't exist, you could still, for some of those folks, like COTA folks or medical providers, and when I say COTA, I mean like the Central Ohio Transit Authority or the bus drivers, you could maybe make an argument it's a special hazard, if you got the flu or the cold back, when the COVID-19 thing was not on anybody's radar. But where things get dicey or difficult with these occupational diseases, it's breaking apart where you got it. And what I mean by that is, did you get it at work or did you get it somewhere else? So for instance, if you got it at home, let's say you go work at COTA, you're driving folks every day, day in and day out, and you go, after you're done, you clock out from COTA, then you go shopping at Myers or Costco or Kroger's. Then you get gas at BP or Speedway. Then you pick up some takeout food from McDonald's or Arby's or wherever. Then you go home, and then at home you have your kids, you have your husband or wife, and so then you get coronavirus. Where can you definitively say that you got coronavirus? Did you get it from one of your passenger on the bus? Did you get it from touching something on the bus? Did you get it from one of your coworkers when you clocked in, clocked out at the central location? Did you get it at Myers or Kroger's or Costco? Did you get it from BP or Speedway? Did you get it from, Arby's or McDonald's? Or did you get it from home? So that's where the difficulty is going to be when proving out these claims. If you have gotten coronavirus and you're faced with a huge bill and you do think you got it at work, certainly this is new territory, so it's certainly worth at least looking into, talking to an attorney about that, because we don't know how this is going to spin out. The government of Ohio may loosen up these rules. They may say, you know what, all these folks, they did a good job. They did their thing. They went to work. They put themselves at risk. They could have died, and some people will die. Let's give them a break. Let's loosen the rules on this a bit. Let's let these be covered under workers' comp, because it's either somebody's going to have to pay for it. So it's either going to be workers' comp, or it's going to be the insurance or Medicaid or whatever. So let's give them a break, and let's do this. We'll have to see. We'll have to see where that spins out. I did talk about like scenarios where it may be easier to get these claims allowed. For instance, let's say you did work at Meijer or Kroger, and you were a stocker in Meijer Kroger. You worked there all day. After you went shopping at Kroger and Meijer because you had a discount. After you're done working there all day, you got gas, but you got gas at Kroger or Meijer's on their on-site location gas station. And by doing that, you're within the zone of employment of Kroger or Meijer's. You go home, nobody's living at home with you, you live by yourself. So, and then you develop the coronavirus. And so you go from home to work, from work to home. In that case, you could certainly eliminate these other vectors of the virus. It gets sketchy when you're talking to many other people, you're going to many other businesses and locations outside work. That's where it gets problematic. But we'll see. You know, this is new territory. Irregardless, be safe. And we'll see how things spin out. I was just going to talk about some of these stuff on the news. For instance, Chicago, I guess some police officer died from the coronavirus. They consider it in the line of duty. I assume when they say line of duty, that's going to be a workers' comp claim in Illinois. Illinois obviously is not Ohio, but so maybe that's illustrative of how they're going to treat it in Ohio for at least police officers, EMTs, firefighters, these sorts of things. Maybe they're going to, and medical providers, maybe they're going to loosen it up like Illinois has and allow these claims. You have this Detroit bus driver. When I saw this, I kind of sympathized greatly with this bus driver. I mean, this could be a COTA bus driver here in Columbus. You know, somebody's coughing away, not covering their mouth. I mean, if you've got to ride the bus, you got to ride the bus. But if you're coughing, please cover your mouth, wear a mask. This guy ended up passing away from the coronavirus. Whether, again, did he get it from that person impolitely coughing away, or did he get it from home? Did he get it from somebody he talked to in his neighborhood? Did he get it from a grocery store? You might say, well, it's obviously he got it from this person coughing on the bus. But maybe that person coughing on the bus had seasonal allergies. Like I typically am a person that come April, May, June, I have my nose running, my eyes are red, I'll cough. I don't have the coronavirus. I have seasonal allergies. Maybe that person has seasonal allergies. Irregardless, cover your mouth, folks. So, but that guy, no, it sucks. That guy passed away. So, but that could be you. If you're a COTA bus driver, maybe you're going to get sick. Maybe somebody, in fact, is coughing away and they have the coronavirus. You got to be careful. So there's that. There's an article talking about grocery store workers as panicked shoppers crowd the stores. Fortunately, it looks like in Ohio, anyways, they're going to start limiting the number of folks who traipse around in the stores at a time. So maybe that will help things. On the other hand, that maybe will help the grocery store, their argument that you didn't get it at the grocery store because we had these procedures in place that would limit the amount of exposure our employees would have to the coronavirus. I could see them putting forth that argument. And then you have the Amazon warehouse folks. It looks like we represent and have represented Amazon warehouse workers in the past, and you know, when I talk to my Amazon warehouse clients, what amazes me is the number of actions per minute they must undertake if they're, for example, a picker. I had done the math for talking with a client. I think they did after we did the math, after like a 8-9 hour shift, it was like 900 things picked. I mean, maybe that's exaggerated, but it seemed pretty crazy. They keep insane level metrics, but you're picking things. You're dealing with folks throughout the warehouse. I've seen some websites and articles about how Amazon is trying to protect their employees from getting the coronavirus. Obviously, they're going to do their best, and I'm confident they're gonna at least take every precaution that they can, but it's not going to prevent everything. So the question is, if you're working all day and then you go home and then you get sick, did you get it working at Amazon? I don't know. But in that case, if you're stuck with you're put one of those folks who find that they're put on a ventilator, I assume that's not cheap, with all the medications and treatment and stuff. So at the end of the day, who's responsible for that bill? Is it you, or is it your employer's workers' comp coverage? Um, Again, if you're an essential worker and you're staying at the front lines of this battle of COVID-19, the coronavirus, uh, I think you should at least seek out an attorney, have them file it, and then we can fight the battle in court, try to get it allowed. Um, but that's basically what I want to talk about. If you have any questions, concerns, other issues, please email me or write comments. We're here. We're still open. Malek and Malek is still open. Some of us are working from home. Some of us are physically in the office. Our doors are locked. We're probably going to limit our person-to-person contacts to very, very, very stringent circumstances. Otherwise, most things we do over the phone or online, anyways. So that's what we're going to do. I have asthma. And so in order to avoid having to be one of those ventilated folks, I'm going to be, I work here weird hours. So I'll either be working here weird hours, like it's Saturday evening, or I'm going to be logging into the computer at home. But you could talk to the attorneys. They're either working at home or they're here, and we're all working. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm aware none of us have gotten sick. So we're still doing business. The Industrial Commission is still in operation. Hearings are still being undertaken. They're being undertaken by phone. I've already made a video about this, but if you cannot go to your doctor to get an updated Medco 14, at least up until it was April 30th, maybe it's been extended, but you can submit a C84 and they'll continue paying you temporary total disability compensation. If you had been working with work restrictions and you have been laid off due to the coronavirus, I think it might behoove you to both apply for unemployment and also apply for temporary total disability compensation. That way, whichever one pays you quicker, you'll have some income coming in. Again, any other questions, issues, concerns, please give me a call, give me an email. If you're never work with us, you call us. We give you a free evaluation consultation, no obligation. We're not going to force you to sign up with us. We're here to help. That's what we do. So that's why we exclusively represent injured workers. All right. Good luck. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you.